Hey, Nick.
Hey, Jeff, what's going on?
I'm getting ready to light up a Bishop.
I just had a Gator.
That's awesome.
Aren't they great cigars?
You know, they really, really are.
You can pick up your own Bishop and Gator over at MartinezCigars.com.
MartinezCigars.com?
MartinezCigars.com has the Bishop and Gator in a variety of size packages.
Packages.
You would like that, wouldn't you? Anyway, head on over to MartinezCigars.com for the Bishop and Gator.
Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Here's to the finest crew in Starfleet. Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise. Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise. What?
What are you doing?
Oh, wait, is this not The Greatest Generation? I sometimes get my podcast confused.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and with me, as always,
It's Gator.
You're just pinging on all cylinders this morning,
man.
aren't you?
I had the weirdest
Boy, you just
dream.
left me twisting in the wind so bad this morning.
No, I fell back asleep.
Oh, no, we're going to get to this in a minute. But first, we're going to talk about what we're smoking
You know,
today.
the funny thing is, I was a good friend, and then I wasn't.
And
All in the same...
And then your ex-wife came through.
Yeah, my ex-wife saved the day for you.
I don't know how that happened.
Who knew?
Anyway, so so we're going to be doing something a little special today. So Jeff and
This is pretty cool.
Jeff and I both signed up, and we are part of the Blackbird Cigar smoking panel.
Yes.
And so what this is Jonas over at Blackbird. He went on their Instagram a little while back and basically announced that they're doing this smoking panel and allowed just everybody, consumers, anybody, to apply to be a part of this. And if you were selected, then you would receive a exclusive blend.
Yes.
That you would give your flavor notes and tasting notes and all your different opinions about the cigar to Blackbird, and they would take that under consideration as they develop new cigars.
Yes.
And so Jeff and I received our first cigar for the smoking panel. And
Also, wait, they're going to be multiple? I just thought this was a one and out.
I'm pretty sure there's multiple.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. If there's not multiple, then, Jonas, we want multiple.
Yes, we would like multiple cigars.
We like
to try
multiple
out, yes.
cigars. Anyway, so we received an email from Blackbird basically saying, we know you received your cigar, so we want your opinion about it.
Okay.
And so
By God, they're about to get it.
They're tracking us. And so, yeah, we figured, you know what? This is fun. They've given us all this criteria that they want from us.
Yeah.
So
it's an actual structured show.
So we figured, we could take the time to fill all this stuff out. And by the way, they do want us to post this to Instagram and tag them in it so that they can get the results that way.
Post the what?
The what we think and all of our notes.
Oh,
here.
I thought you meant the podcast.
So it's good that we have the pen and the paper.
Yes.
So we can write this stuff down. Either that or we got to go back over the podcast later and take notes about what we said.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah. But anyway,
we want you guys to listen to it for sure, but I usually listen to it at least once.
I do because I have to go back and edit.
Well, yeah, you listen when you edit, so.
But anyway, so
that was my lighter fluid can popping. It does that.
Oh, okay.
Probably not good.
Probably a bad thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're going to go through this and we're going to smoke this cigar and you guys are going to go along on the journey with us as we smoke what is known on the band as Smoking Panel Blend 8041.
Well, see, I don't know.
From Blackbird Cigar
I
Company.
don't know that because I haven't gotten mine out of the box yet.
You haven't even opened the box yet?
I wanted it to be like an unboxing. I thought that's what we were doing.
Well, no.
But yours is already out.
Yeah.
Ooh, packing peanuts.
Yeah. Those things go everywhere.
I know. That's what I'm trying to avoid. Man, I should have opened this off show. Sorry,
Probably.
folks.
So, all right. So while we're talking,
I didn't realize
while
what
you're
we were
doing your intricate unboxing,
oh my God, there they go,
and the packing peanuts fly everywhere. Let's talk about this morning. So, for the risk of mundane detail, guys, I'm doing my taxes later this afternoon, and I had to do one bit of work to prep for that tax appointment, and it required me to do like a specific form. And my printer at home was out of ink. So I called Jeff and I'm like, hey, do you have a printer at the house? Mind you, this is 8:30 this morning. And I woke him up. And he's like, no, we don't. He's like, what do you need? And so I told him what I needed. And you said that you'd call Kristen, who's at work.
I did.
And you would ask Kristen if she would print out this form for me.
Text her, but yeah, I reached out.
You reached out?
Yeah.
Now, what you also did is you also added in some other details, such as, hey, you can bring it home at lunch.
No. What I said was that I could pick it up when I go get Addie at lunchtime. Because I pick our daughter up. She walks there from school, and I pick her up at noon.
But the thing about it is my appointment's like this afternoon, and I needed it.
Well, I thought that still gave you enough time.
I mean, you assumed that. But
see,
anyway,
that's the problem here, folks. So you do Nick a favor.
No.
Never good enough.
Okay, so anyway, so he texts her, and he tells me, "Hey, I'll check with her, and I'll let you know."
Yes.
This is 8:30.
That was said. I remember that.
So then as I'm driving down here to meet you now,
yeah,
I'm blowing your phone up because I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, he called me like 4 times.
Haven't heard anything. I'm thinking, do I need to run by there and pick it up? What's going on? Is she not able to print it out for me? Because if she's not able to print it out for me, I need to find somebody who can. And Jeff just will not pick up. Just will not pick up.
Dude, I went into a coma.
And therein lies the thing. Jeff fell back to sleep.
Yes.
So then finally, I'm like 5 minutes out of town, and Jeff finally picks up, and I can hear it in his voice that he had just woken up. I could hear it in his voice that he had just woken up. And at this point, rather than be calm and everything, I just immediately fly into a rage, and I'm just like, it's like, what did I say to you?
Oh, it was horrific.
No, it wasn't horrific.
It was horrific. It was some of the worst things you've ever said.
Way to come through in the clutch, buddy.
Exactly.
That's what it was. Way to come through in the clutch, And I'm just like, is she able to print it? Oh, let me check. So then he checks with her, and she doesn't have her printer set up at the office.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because they got new computers and printers, and the printer isn't set up. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So then it became a question of like, okay, when can she print this thing for? Thankfully, it ended up coming through. She got the printer hooked up and printed out for me, and it was no big deal. But in all seriousness, this is a classic example of Jeff just being lucky that everything fell into place. I'd rather be
lucky than good. Now, this is an example from me to you of Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Yeah.
It's like a Bobby McFerrin song right now.
Well, Jeff, why don't we go ahead and start to prep to smoke this?
Let me get mine out of the cellophane.
Obviously, I know no details about... That was super quick.
Got it.
I know no details about this cigar. The only thing that I can, that we can relay to you, the listener, is that it appears to be it's a Robusto, right, Jeff? Would you say Robusto
I would
size?
say yes.
About 5 inches. Don't get stupid. God, I knew it. I knew. I saw it like cross your face.
I couldn't bring myself to do it.
I saw it go across your face, and I'm like, no, let it go, Jeff. Anyway, it's about 5 inches. It's box pressed.
It's about a 60 ring gauge, you think?
Yeah, it's a big box press. This is probably a 60 ring gauge box press. So in terms of my personal preference, Blackbird, I don't like box press.
I don't understand that.
But that's just me. So, it's my personal preference.
I simply don't understand.
It is what it is. So, let's kind of explore this a little bit here. So, let's smell the foot.
Smelling the foot. What is the first thing we need to key in on?
Appearance. So from 1 to 5, with 5 being bad and 1 being bad, 5 being excellent. They need to know our our opinion on appearance, draw, burn, and taste.
Okay.
And then they want to know from 1 to 5, mild to full-bodied, what do we consider the strength of the cigar? What is your smoking experience? What did you feel the tasting notes were? Did you like the size? So, So size, we could touch on if we wanted to right now, but realistically, that's probably the least important aspect. I would say for me, I'm not a fan of the box press. And to be honest, I tend to smoke Toros more than I smoke Robustos, but, it is what it is.
Okay.
So, anyway, in terms of smelling the foot, nothing really distinct is popping out.
I'm not
to
either,
me.
but nothing bad either.
No, exactly.
Not even like tobacco. That's the weird
that's
thing.
the thing. There's no like musty smell. There's no there's nothing distinct really popping out to me on the foot there. So, Jeff, why don't we go ahead and cut this cigar? And the official cutting is brought to us by our man Dan over at Riverman Cigar Company of Crestwood, Missouri.
Dan.
And Dan, baby, that 1,500 square foot covered patio is back.
That's the way to use it right now.
Action. It has been, mid 50s to mid 60s for probably the better part of the last week.
Now, you were there this weekend. Did you sit out in the lounge or outside?
We sat in the lounge, but that's because I was there on a evening.
So it was getting a little chilly.
I mean, I think I rolled in there about 8 o'clock, so it was already, in the evening. But people are using that cover patio. I mean, there were chairs still outside when I got there. I mean,
that's awesome.
They're enjoying the nice St. Louis spring weather, and Dan is working to get that humidor, replenished from any sales that he had over the wintertime and everything. So, guys, there's going to be some really good stuff rolling. And not that there's not really good stuff there now, but there's going to be even more really good stuff rolling in at Riverman Cigar Company. So you're going to want to make sure you swing by there and check out that humidor and all the great cigars that he has to carry. I know I was smoking the Aladino Corojo Reserva number 4 there the other night.
In honor of the Jerry Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios.
This is true.
That's right.
And, I always smoke the Aladinos when I'm over at Dan's place.
Oh, trust me, I was smoking Aladinos long before they were a sponsor of the show.
Exactly, but
great cigars.
But it's one of those things. I mean, pretty much every time I walk into Dan's Humidor, if I'm picking out some cigars, I know in that bundle there's going to be an Aladino.
Yeah.
So, and Dan carries the whole line. So, guys,
and he's not lying because I've seen him do it, and he's telling the God's honest truth.
Guys, swing on over to Riverman Cigar Company of Crestwood, Missouri, and if you're not in the St. Louis area or don't plan on swinging through the St. Louis area, Dan does mail order, and he will get that box shipped out to you the next day.
He's been doing a ton of that lately.
He has been doing a ton of that lately, and I think that's great. We
appreciate it, guys.
It's fantastic. So, guys, Riverman Cigar Company, Crestwood, Missouri, and with that, it's time to go ahead and cut the cigar. Okay, now, I will say, this is a box press. What do you think of that cap?
You know what?
It's kind of a flat cap. It's tapered a little bit, but it reminds me a lot of the Bromacraft Neanderthal.
It does.
It's kind of got that flat cap going on. And so I'm debating how I want to cut it.
I'm going to do the perfect cut from Riverman. So that's what I'm going with.
Now, that's just a straight cut.
Just a straight cut, but the thing the perfect cut does is it keeps you from taking off too much. And I think on this cap, that's going to be the best way to go.
I'm tempted to V-cut, but on the flip side, I'm worried that that's going to crack that cap.
Look at that. You want to use my perfect cut?
No, because I'm worried that's not enough off of there.
Let me check the draw.
I was going to say, check your draw real quick.
Feels fine. It's up to you.
You know what? I'm going to do it.
I talked you into it, guys.
I'm going to use the perfect cut from Riverman here because, I want to make sure. Oh, my God. I want to make sure I don't.
Yeah, that's just it. I didn't want to crack it and take too much off, so I think that was the best way to go. That's the beauty of having an assortment of cutters here to choose from.
Mm-hmm. Never have any at Top Shooters, but, on your deck, you have what you have.
Look, you know me, and if they leave the deck, they disappear. So if I leave them here, unless somebody comes up and steals them, they're at least here. So
okay.
How's your draw?
Draw is good. So okay.
And it's 1 to 5 or 1 to 10?
Yeah, it's 1 to 5, bad to excellent. So let's go ahead and do appearance first. So
I'm doing 5 on the appearance. I like it. The what is it? And I should know all my terms here, but it's a veiny wrapper, but it's got a really neat look to it.
it's toothy. It's got the little bumps.
Now I thought the bumps were the little white bumps though. When
They
when
don't
it's
necessarily have
toothy.
to be white.
Okay.
It's just the little bumps.
Yeah,
Almost like it's got goose pimples.
Well, this one's more veiny than pimply, at least mine.
Okay.
But I
had a little bit
it's
of
a neat looking wrapper though on it.
I did have this little spot up by the cap there, and whatnot.
Well, let's see.
That line there, and everything. I mean, I don't know.
What is that?
And then my foot there, I got a couple wrapper cracks down at the foot.
Yeah.
Now that could have been just due to getting kind of banged around in the mail,
transport, yeah.
and everything. So I don't know. How picky do I want to be?
How picky do you want to be?
I don't
I'm
know.
giving it a 5 because I really like the appearance of the leaf that they're using for a binder on this is really nice. Look at that. Look at the vein down through it, and it almost looks like a fossilized leaf.
It does.
It's really
It does.
cool.
Well, all right. I'll acquiesce. Maybe I'm being too picky. I'm going to go ahead. I'll go ahead and give it a 5.
Okay.
It's a good looking cigar.
I think it
So-
is too, and I'm giving it a 5 as well.
Okay, so now draw, burn, and taste. I'm not going to know until I actually light the thing up. So, now we need to figure out what we're getting on it. Let's talk cold draw time here.
Okay.
So,
And I have not. Nick even knows he was kind enough to bring me a breakfast sandwich after I shanked him this morning, and I haven't even touched it yet because I want a clean palate going into the cigar.
I've witnessed something I didn't think I would ever see, which is Jeff put down a sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich
Darn right.
and
This
wait
is for the
on
good
it.
of the cause.
And wait on it. So what are you getting on the cold draw there? There is something.
It's very light. I can't put my finger on it.
It's kind of sweet.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to say? Floral. It's got a.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm going floral.
You might be just putting it in my head, but maybe.
But it's very, very, very mild. You'll notice we may be taking a little extra time as we're making our notes on this.
Exactly.
We're not just flying by the seat of our pants. Okay.
All right.
Cold retro.
Oh, yes. Cold retro. I get nothing.
You get nothing on the cold retro?
Nothing new. I mean, You
ready? You ready?
Oh, God.
I'm going out on the limb here.
Going on a limb.
I think the cold retro set it over. Floral, and more specifically, the smell of honeysuckle.
Without that's a you flavor note. I'm not going to
You've never
say
smelled
that.
honeysuckle?
I have. I can't tell you what it smells like.
It smells like this cigar.
Okay. That's very specific. I can't say as I know the exact smell of honeysuckle. So, anyway.
Well, you're missing out.
I guess so. All right, well. Going to go ahead and light this thing up.
Let's do it.
Let's do this. Let's light this thing up. So, it is a box press. Already having trouble rolling it around to get it lit properly because it's awkward. I don't want
box presses. I don't know.
Damn it! That's exactly it. Yes, I just friggin' dropped my cigar because it's friggin' awkward. Now there's dog hair on it, and it's like whatever. Oh my god!
Oh, I wish
I hate box.
that.
I hate box
God.
press cigars so much.
It's
Jonas. I hate box press cigars.
It's moments
I'm
like
gonna
that
hate on this cigar
that I wish
just
to
because of
God
this.
we had a YouTube channel
because of
that
this.
everyone could have seen what you just did. That was a great, Jonas. That was the greatest thing ever. Ooh, that's nice.
Cracked the shit out of the foot of this thing when I dropped it. I've got like 3 or 4 different cracks going on down there now.
So glad
God, I'm
you
so
did that.
pissed.
Okay, so First thoughts on the cigar.
Wish it was round.
God, you're such a baby. Okay, my first taste out of the gate.
Draw is really good so
Draw's
far.
really good.
Yeah.
First thoughts out of the gate, coffee.
I will say, because it is a larger box press, like a 60, it's kind of difficult to get for me, slightly difficult to get that foot completely lit.
It's just such a baby. It's coffee. It tastes like coffee. Are you getting that?
Yes.
And I'm glad that I did not. I've got a cup of coffee sitting here. And I'm so glad I didn't drink that this morning because that would have blown that flavor note out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's coffee. And do a retro.
Coffee on the retro, too.
A spice on the retro, too.
Did you get spice? Let me do one more.
Yeah, how are you not getting that little tingle of pepper in the back of the throat?
Dude, it's predominant. All I'm getting is like a good like French roast coffee.
Well,
and even on the retro hail, I'm getting coffee. That is really cool.
Okay. So, draw. You know, I'm going to hold off on that for just a little bit. I'm going to hold off on those last three, draw, burn, and taste, for a little bit, because we just lit this thing up. So I need to kind of see how that comes together.
Okay. Are they wanting it broken down by the first, second, final, third?
I figure we're going to be talking about, you know, what was your smoking experience on the cigar? Yeah. And what do you consider the strength of the cigar? That's the other kind of thing we need to keep in mind. But
I'd put it medium right now.
You just started it.
Well, I'm saying right now.
No.
In the first third, I'm saying medium cigar.
You can't. I would say you can't know.
I can know what I know. What I know.
Okay.
I don't know what I don't know.
Okay. I'm kidding.
So,
I'm sure that's for me dropping it.
Shank the hell out of your cigar.
Yeah, my damn the wrapper down at the head of the cigar is kind of, you know.
We need to keep our cigar glue with us.
We're at your house.
I don't know where it's at.
So what you're really saying is I need to keep my cigar glue with me.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
God, you suck.
You want to switch? Here, I'll give you mine. Okay.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, sausage fingers over here couldn't hold on to a stick.
Shut up. All right.
So today.
Anyway, yeah. What?
We
already covered
Nick
you
calls,
shanking me on the taxi.
Yeah, Nick calls me, and once, I set the wheels in motion, then fall back asleep halfway during the plan. And I have the most
while you're
vivid
asleep,
dream.
Yeah, you've been talking about this with me all morning, about how you had this dream.
God.
And let's talk about this dream. Because
Okay.
you haven't told me what this dream is. So what is this dream?
So I have this dream, and I'm on a reality show. Now, I think I can explain this.
Was it like one of those Japanese game shows where you have to embarrass yourself?
Not really, but it was
because I could see you doing well on something
you had to
like
do
that.
stunts, and
I can't see you doing well at that. That's way too physical.
Well, no, I'm going to break a hip. So, I think I can explain why. Because when I went to bed last night, I was watching Naked and Afraid, which I love that show. By the way,
for those of you who aren't from Southern Illinois, it's Naked and Afraid.
It's Naked Gator. Naked and Afraid.
Anyway,
I have a friend of mine from DuQuoin, Illinois, that has been on the show. Her name is Lacey.
Yeah, we talked about her.
And she's been on the show several times, actually, now. She's been on Naked and Afraid. But that being said, so I go to bed watching Naked and Afraid.
Weren't you supposed to get her on the podcast at some point?
I'm hoping to.
God. Shut up, dogs.
I'm hoping to. But, yeah, I gotta circle back with her and get her on. I want to talk to her about it. So, that being said, I go to bed, and I have this, running, reoccurring dream, which, if I have those, I don't always remember them. But, this dream, I remember waking up and remembering this dream, going back to sleep, and then starting back up where I was.
Weird.
Yeah, it was really strange.
That is weird, because sometimes I've had dreams where, I've had them, and I woke up because maybe I had to use the bathroom or something like that, and I wanted to go back to them.
Mm-hmm.
And
kind of like the Nexus.
And I'm like thinking about it when I'm trying to go to
wanting
sleep.
to get back to the ribbon.
I'm wanting to get back to it, but then like inevitably something happens.
Exactly.
And,
You're like Soren.
I can't.
You just let that entire
move on.
Strain of
Just
Star Trek
on.
references.
Why are you so fixated on freaking Star Trek?
Because later I'm going to talk about that I watched Picard. That's why I did the cold open the way I did it. Anyway, so I thought it would all tie together. See, I'm show prep. I've put in the man hours. So I have this vivid dream, and I'm on a reality show, and for some reason there is a set of female triplets on the show. I don't know why. At first I thought they were twins, and then I realized there were three of them.
Well, I
so
know why you're thinking about triplets, given some of the various websites you visit. I'm sure that you were probably thinking about those right before bed.
Oh my God. Anyway, moving along. So, we have to do these stunts. Well, they're doing like this prank fall out of a window, and like the one girl does it and she's fine. Well, they go to do it to the, I guess the first and second girls do it, if I remember correctly. And then they go to do it with the third girl. And I realize they have her over a window that's actually a 2-story drop, and it's onto a staircase.
Well, that's not good.
Like into a basement kind of area. And I'm begging them. I'm like, she's going to get hurt. You can't do this. You have to stop. And like everybody on the show, like the cast, the crew, everybody's laughing at me. And then she falls out the window. And I'm just like mortified, like having PTSD immediately from her falling out this window. And then you hear somebody from the outside say, that she's been injured in the fall. And I'm like, no shit, she's been injured in the fall. I told you not to let her do it.
I just had to correct my burn line slightly. It's been pretty good, but I had this one spot that was just not burning even, so I had you see it?
Yeah, I do.
Fairly large point going on there.
I do see that.
Unburnt wrapper, so I just
I have a little spot of that on the side here. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, I begged them not to let her jump out the window. And it was a prank fall thing, like where they push her backwards. So like she went backwards out of the window onto a concrete staircase, like a story and a half down. Yeah.
2-story down and then
I was like, how the hell do you not think she was going to die from that?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then I woke up like in a panic.
Okay.
Because I just watched this woman die.
Yeah.
In my dream.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody can analyze that. There's all kinds of things that you're going to find out about my psyche, I'm guessing.
Well, it's obvious you want triplets.
Well, I mean...
But maybe you really want twins, and that's why you're pushing one out a window.
Okay.
Maybe you want the option open to you, but ultimately you decide on twins.
Okay. But if
triplets
are available.
But maybe triplets were available and you could have handled that when you were younger, but now you're acknowledging your age, and so you're saying, I can only do 2, so you push one out a window.
You can go fuck yourself. I was good once as I ever was. Thank you, Toby Keith. Although I guess I wouldn't be as good 3 times. Anyway, valid point.
3 times
you might be onto something. Once, twice,
3 times a lady.
We're the biggest nerds.
I don't know.
We're at Top Shooters last night, guys.
I truly don't know what your dream was. I'm like sitting here thinking about it. But okay, what were you going to say?
And I mean, I was anxious and nervous when I woke up from it.
What were you going to say about
me up.
Top Shooters?
So we're at Top Shooters last night.
Then we'll come back to dreams.
And this sack of shit starts singing country songs. And I finally looked at him and I said, you've been here too much. Because I know country. He does not. I've never seen him sing a country song once in my life.
In all fairness, I was kind of making fun of that song.
Kind of, but you knew all the lyrics.
I didn't know all the lyrics. I knew the general tune, so like I could just be like, darba, 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 like it make it sound.
He could go and name that tune because he knew 3 notes into the song exactly what it was and started singing it before the artist.
Dude, it was gouge country.
And then we just stopped our entire conversation and for 3 minutes just sang the song.
Just sat there and just went, gouge country.
Repeatedly.
I saw the light of I don't know. Something about a creek bed or a river bed.
He's out on the 40 on the muddy side of the creek.
That's what it was. Yeah. So, whatever. So, anyway.
So back to dreams.
Back to dreams. So, no, that's messed up, dude. I can't say. I don't know. I haven't had a good, well, not a good, but I haven't had a like murder dream in a while.
Yeah.
You know, had a couple dreams I'm not going to get into here. The one that I will say, I'm not saying that. Why are you getting all dirty?
Ew.
Anyway, there is one that always sticks out in my head. Actually, two. There's two of them that I can remember very vividly. The first one, I was in the car. I was riding in the back seat of a car, and in the front seat was my old boss and a woman who worked with us. Now, I don't know who this woman is. She was a figment of my dream. Okay. But I knew she worked with us.
Yeah.
But my boss was driving, and we were driving kind of like in a big parking lot behind. It was like a warehouse industrial park. So it's like a row of just a row of warehouses.
Yeah.
And we're riding in the parking lot behind the buildings. And it had just snowed, so there were all these big snow piles. And he was ramping his Chrysler 300 over these snow piles. He was driving into them and ramping them. Well, he did it over one, and it ended up ramping us into a frozen lake. Okay. So now the car is crashed into the lake and is sinking into the water. And it's like getting darker and darker and darker into the car. And that's when my boss says something along the lines of, well, guys, I think this is it. So I get out my cell phone and I call home and tell my family that this had happened and that I'm really sorry. And I wanted to come home to see my son before he went to bed. And that's when I woke up.
And that was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was one.
Okay.
The other one is much more upbeat. Much more.
Yeah, because that's
different.
you dying.
Yeah, that was disturbing. But the other one is much more upbeat.
Okay.
I was at a casino, and I'm like at the craps table, and I'm ready to just get my gamble on. And the guy asks me to place my bet, and I whip out a freaking book of postage stamps and throw the postage stamps down.
Were they
on
forever
the table.
stamps?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he just kind of looks at me and he's like, you can't bet with those. And I just start arguing with him and I'm like, yes, I can. Those are postage stamps and they are valued at 55 cents a piece per the United States postal system. And so with the amount of stamps I have here, and I just like start doing the math and I basically have like tons of money, but wrapped up into postage stamps. And now I'm gambling.
Why did you invest in postage stamps?
Because they were forever.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't.
Makes sense.
I don't know, Jeff. It was my dream.
In all honesty, that wouldn't have been the worst investment when they first came out.
Yeah,
now
I
that
know,
you
right?
look back.
Yeah. But the point is, and he accepted it. So now I'm gambling with postage stamps.
Some people invest in, oil stocks. Some people invest in bearer bonds. I've invested in forever
stamps. Forget about the futures. I want postage.
Because as we all know, the Postal Service is always going to be around.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's been other dreams, but that one, those two very vividly stand out to me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Then, of course, there's my night terrors, but we've gone into that before.
God. Yeah, I've experienced those.
Which, by the way, guys, if you want to hear about my night terrors, go back to our episode from about this time last year where Jeff and I cover our trip to Chicago.
That's right, when we went to Ultimate.
Yep. So if you go back and listen to the episode about this time last year with our trip to Chicago, that's when you will hear all about my night terrors.
That was the first...
how I scared the utter bejesus
Oh my God, it was the first time I've ever experienced something like that. And... dude, I don't think you could have even got into the military with those. Because you could be laying in a foxhole and give away a position.
Oh, yeah, because I just start screaming my head
Yes!
off.
You're in the
the problem is, I don't know. I mean, I'll go years without one. And then all of a sudden I'll have one. And I don't know what it is.
Living hell out of me.
I mean...
Not going to lie.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, real quick.
Back to the cigar.
Back to the cigar. So what do you...
Okay, so my burn line has corrected. Look how pretty that looks. Yeah.
You do have a nice tight burn line going on there. Mine, if you notice, it's good about 50% on the one side, and then on the other side, it's
and
really
here's the problem. I don't know
uneven.
if you can hold it against it after you drop kicked it across the backyard.
I didn't drop kick it across the backyard. I accidentally dropped it because it was awkward to hold because it's a box press.
It's not awkward at all.
It's totally awkward. When the way I like my cigar, the way I like my cigar by spinning it and toasting the edge and then toasting the middle of the foot, because I toast the edge of the foot and then I toast the middle of the foot.
It's just a rectangle.
It was awkward to twist.
Is it a rectangle?
Yes, it's a rectangle. Yeah. Do you not know your shapes? They teach you that in
I don't know. I'm getting old.
Has been a while since kindergarten for you.
It has, yes.
Quite some time.
And in kindergarten, you know what I majored in kindergarten? Nap time. I don't even know if they do that anymore. Do they have kids take mats to school and nap?
I would have guessed snack time. But
that was later in life.
Okay.
Yeah, that was when I gave up.
I don't know if they do nap time or not.
Life had smacked the smile off my face in kindergarten.
I don't know if they do nap time or if they just send the kid home.
Yeah, we all had our own mat at school. Did you do that? Do you remember that?
Now, I will say when I was in kindergarten, there was morning kindergarten and afternoon kindergarten. And I was afternoon.
I had all-day kindergarten.
Yeah, I was afternoon kindergarten.
Yeah, we had nap time in kindergarten when I was a kid.
So I don't know if we did.
Yeah. We'd all get our mats out and we'd all just
we had nap time
take
at
a communal sleep. Yeah,
we had nap time at preschool. But see, what would happen is I would get back to preschool from kindergarten.
We got a slow mover inbound here. I don't know if everybody can hear that on me.
I got back to preschool from kindergarten during nap time. So I was one of the cool kids who got to sit up and watch the Smurfs while the other kids were napping.
The Smurfs.
Hell yeah. Little communist village.
Exactly.
I mean, the leader wears red. He's an old man wearing red, for God's sakes. And they only have the one woman.
Yeah.
And they share her.
Oh, my God.
I mean,
that's jacked up.
Smurfette.
Wow.
Just saying. They all have their roles.
Tuesdays with Smurfette.
They all have their specific jobs. They all have their roles.
Smurfette has hers.
Yep. All their houses look the same.
Boy, it is sounding more and more communist.
It's a communist thing, dude.
Wow.
The Smurfs are very communist.
Wow.
I mean, happy, but communist.
But, okay, so how does the old man and the cat play into it? Are they the evil capitalists?
It's Gargamel.
What's the cat's name?
Azrael.
Azrael, that's it.
Boy, I'm just pulling this right
out of your ass. Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I can't say as I've ever thought too hard about how Gargamel and Azrael, come into play there. But
were they the great Satan, the U.S.?
Possibly.
In this scenario?
Possibly. They're bumbling, so maybe. Maybe that was the whole thing is the communist, the happy communist Smurf village was being accosted by the bumbling, evil, capitalist society.
He was kind of a dick.
He wanted to eat them.
Yeah.
You know what he wanted to do?
What?
Oh, my God. You know what Gargamel wanted to do with the Smurfs?
What?
He wanted to turn them into gold.
Did he?
That was the whole thing.
He is the evil capitalist.
He is the evil capitalist.
Shit.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. I just realized he was a magician.
I thought he wanted to eat them, but he wants to turn them into gold?
He wanted to turn them into gold.
Huh.
That's exactly it. Oh, my God.
Mind blown.
Well, there you go. So, the Smurfs for communist propaganda.
Okay, then.
La, 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 la.
La, 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 la.
Oh, I bet Jonas over at Blackbird's just so thrilled we decided to do this tasting thing on our show, know?
And not to mention Jerry Tobacco Aladino for sponsoring the studio. Just sorry to everyone. Sorry, everyone.
We really should start putting an apology at the end of the show.
We really should.
I know we've joked about that with Dan, but it needs to probably become more of a blanket apology.
Just list off everyone that was wronged in the making of the episode.
So I did just ash my cigar. The ash holds on really, really well.
Yeah, it does.
It is a very light, flaky, kind of like light gray color.
It's really pretty. I'm going to get a picture of it, actually.
But it did hold on well. My burn line, I had a little bit of funkiness on the one side. However, it is slowly starting to correct itself.
I'm taking pictures that I go. I figure we'll post
I'm not
those on the
quite
socials.
halfway on this cigar, but I do think it's probably safe to go ahead and give it its draw rating. I have no issue with the draw whatsoever, so I'm going to give it a solid 5.
Yep. Yeah, and I think the perfect cut or a straight cut really, you don't want to go deep on it because I was with you. I was afraid I was going to jank the cap.
Yeah.
So that perfect cut was the way to go.
Perfect cut or a very, very shallow straight cut, you're going to have to be real careful if you do it without the perfect cutter. But I do think the perfect cut was a good way of taking care of this.
So I'm starting to pick up a little pepper.
Going over the email here real quick. Just
see if there's anything we're missing.
See if there's anything we need to be keeping track of. Consider the strength of the cigar. What's your smoking experience? So, okay, that's fine.
It's putting off a ton of white smoke. I mean,
it is
really
putting off
pretty.
A ton of smoke.
I'm stacking dimes over here with mine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do have a little bit of that issue here. After I started smoking, it popped back up, where it's leaving a little like pyramid kind of thing.
Yeah, the burn line, it'll like straighten out, and then it'll kind of start to knot.
So I'm going to let it rest for a second, see if it catches itself up.
So yeah, that burn
it's
line
right along. If you look, it's right along that little vein right there.
Yep. So, now what were you saying? You were starting to pick up a little bit. Yeah, exactly. I'm into the halfway point in the cigar.
Yep.
And yeah, there's
You're
a
ahead
little.
of me.
Am I?
You are today.
I'm actually really close. Actually,
You probably got a half. I got a half inch going, a little extra.
you still have all your ash on it though.
That's true, but I've been kind of slow walking it, and I'll tell you, it's got a good flavor to it.
It does.
It's got a really good flavor. Like I said, the first third I'm going to put down.
I think coffee was the predominant flavor note of
definitely.
the first third.
And I don't get coffee a ton off of cigars.
Yeah.
And again, that's probably because I'm usually drinking coffee with my cigar. When we sit here and smoke, I'm always drinking a cup of coffee.
But I do think you're right. I think the pepper is definitely creeping in the second third here. Definitely.
Now, I know you got some spice on the retro hail at first. I was getting like a French roast coffee. Let's try the retro hail here.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah, definitely pepper picked up.
Pepper picked up significantly in the retro hail at the halfway point. Yeah, it's much more prominent. Much more prominent at the halfway point with that. The wind is slightly picking up here. Kind of a little unfortunate because, I like the... for the outdoor smoking, I really like for it to be kind of still. Just so that...
Exactly.
You're not losing some of that smoke.
Some of the
aroma.
flavor. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people may think that's funny to hear, but the smoke on a cigar really does enhance it. You get a different experience indoors and outdoors.
I've said it on the cast here before that you lose probably about 50% of the smoking experience when you're sitting outside. That Mother Nature steals that away just with that little gentle breeze.
It's weird. And maybe I'm really trying to do a good job on analyzing this cigar. Because normally we just kind of smoke them and talk and, whatever. But since this one's for science, I want to make sure we're doing it right.
Exactly. I want to make sure that I'm doing my due diligence here and doing a good job.
If you let that smoke rest in your mouth, draw it in and just let it rest for a second.
Okay.
I think, and maybe I'm losing it, but I think you get like a peppery steak, like a steak. You know how you roll a steak in pepper and grill it up. I'm getting steak with pepper.
Yeah, like little peppercorn kind of thing.
Yes.
Yep. Boy, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that you're actually nailing this. Kind of makes me think that you've been like really half-assing it before.
Chiclets and cantaloupe.
Chiclets and cantaloupe and tea-berry gum. It's like, God,
I miss tea-berry gum.
You're actually really kind of nailing this cigar so far. Between the coffee and then now this peppercorn kind of thing.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Who knew?
That's what I'm saying. Who knew? Interesting. Well, Jeff, as we get into the second half of the cigar, why don't we go ahead and jump into what little bit of Ask the Boys that we have for this week?
Okay.
Shall we play a game?
You talking to me? I have a question for you.
You gotta ask me nicely.
Ask me about my wiener!
You got a question? You ask the 8-ball.
Come on, sucker. Let's get it on.
So yeah, guys, we need your questions. I'm getting a little tired of the feast or famine weeks here. But no, in all seriousness, guys, we need your questions to keep it going. So this week we have one question, and I'd like that to be more. Last week I think we had like what, 6? 5
Yeah,
or 6,
we did. We had a bunch.
6, and this
Now, see,
week
maybe
it's like
that's on
just
us.
one.
Maybe we should be banking them.
Yeah, but I think if we bank them too long, then, I don't know. Sometimes they reference things from shows, and I don't want it to be like referencing something that happened like 3 weeks ago.
True. Valid.
So.
Well, and, we want to get our car warranty questions in there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So guys, get your questions into us. Area code 863-874-0000. And remember, this is how you can kind of put in your application to participate and take part in the Listener Interaction Tuesdays that we're going to have at the end of every month. So if you want to come on and sit in with us, we're kind of looking for you to kind of apply for that in a roundabout way. Show us you're able to sit and have a conversation with us for an hour or better by giving us some good phone calls on the Ask the Boys hotline.
Absolutely.
So anyway, well, why don't we go ahead and jump into our question?
Okay.
Hey, Nick and Gator. It's Christian, a.k.a. Big Polka, calling from Connecticut.
Big Polka.
Not so much of a question today. More so of a little bit of, let's say, a crisis here.
Uh-oh.
Geared towards you, Gator.
Oh, God.
A little disappointed in you here.
Oh, no.
Listening to episode 167, I'm driving down to work, and I come across a conversation that involves Michelob Ultra and whiskey. Gator, can I see your man card, please? I gotta punch a hole in it or maybe revoke it. But you have Michelob Ultra, and you offered a fellow man Michelob Ultra over whiskey. I don't care if it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the morning. Whiskey over piss beer. Man code. Don't even have her have piss beer in the house. Gator, come on. Expecting more out of you, buddy. Come on. Always the whiskey.
Okay.
Whiskey and liquor over the beer. Especially the piss beer, Gator. Come on. I'm feeling hurt here for Nick that he had to drink a Michelob Ultra.
I like Michelob Ultra.
I am just kind of upset. Michelob Ultra and cigars. I can't fathom that.
I'm watching my
wrap
figure.
my mind around that. That's got to be the worst pairing. Disappointed in you, Gator. Disappointed in you. Nick, I'm sorry you have to be a victim of that. Hopefully next time, Gator will have some whiskey or some kind of better beer choice. Anyways, stay smoky, guys. Thank you. Appreciate the episode. You guys still make me laugh. Looking forward to the next one. Bye.
Thanks, Big Polka.
Thanks, Christian. So, no,
Jackass.
I just kind of chalk it up to the fact that Jeff has a secret life as a marathon runner, and he needs to watch his carbs.
Well, I do need to watch my carbs.
I
broke 300 pounds.
It must be a super secret life as a marathon runner because I don't see any evidence of it whatsoever.
God. No,
but
so here's the deal. What I had, okay.
So wait, let me back up. You break 300 pounds, and your solution is I'm going to drink Michelob Ultra instead of good beer.
in a week's time, like if we spend a week together, which we've done, on trips and different things that we've done, how many beers do you actually see me drink?
You don't drink.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
So no, I actually bought the Michelob Ultra, one, because it was on sale, and two, because when I grill brats, which I had just done,
yes,
I always boil the brats in beer.
Okay.
And I bought the Mick Ultra because it was on sale, and that's what I used to boil the brats. Normally, I use Bud Select.
I mean, if you're just looking to boil beer, why do you have to worry about what brand it is at all? Why don't you just get
That's why I bought the Michelob Ultra.
the Stag or something?
But I
like
actually
that,
don't mind Mick Ultra. I don't mind drinking that. I'll tell you the beer that I did like was that Yinglings that I bought for you and then kept for myself.
You did keep that for yourself.
I did keep that for myself.
Yeah.
But that was actually really good. I'd never had that before you introduced me to it, and that's really good.
It's available.
It's going to be nationwide.
Yeah,
that's
they've
right.
expanded out their distribution. So yeah, it might be available in the St. Louis market now. I don't know.
I'll tell you, the place to check is going to be Friar Tuck's.
Yeah,
that or maybe a Total Wine,
like a Total Wine.
Yeah,
I don't know, but now I will say, in your defense, I'm also not much of a whiskey guy.
And I know that.
So I'm not much of a drinker. I did a lot of drinking in college. I don't tend to do much drinking these days.
Now, I'll tell you, our friend Mary is the one to talk to about whiskey.
Really?
Her and her husband. Yes.
Really?
Oh, my God. You've been to their house. They have.
I knew her husband
have an
was
entire
into it,
whiskey, and what are you doing to your cigar
I'm
over there?
I'm trying to take this band off. And
it took a little wrapper with it.
The way they adhered this paper band to this cigar, it kind of shanked the wrapper.
Well, and let's be honest, this is a test band on it. It's
exactly, but I'm just saying
the
the glue that was adhered to it, it kind of shanked my wrapper.
No, they have this ginormous collection of different liquors down in the.
You're right.
They've got an entire wall of their basement dedicated to these liquors, and they've done all the distillery tours and things.
Kind of surprised I forgot about that.
Yeah, they're all in for that. Yeah, they're the ones to talk to. I mean, let's be honest. Inside right now, I've got some American honey and I've got some Jack Daniels. That's the extent of my whiskey collection.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any whiskey at home, to be honest.
Now, I've got a ton down at the paper. I'll go. I got a little story for you there. So I've got a ton of alcohol at my newspaper, which it's a newspaper office, and a newspaper office should always have alcohol. It kind of goes. It's an old school thing with journalists. But we had a retailer. It was a grocery store that didn't pay their bill and racked up a really hefty bill with inserts with us. It was back when we were doing our little shopper, so it was easier to rack a bill up back then because it was about $500 a week to run an insert with us to cover the full run. So this grocery store goes tits up, but they have several locations throughout Southern Illinois. So what we ended up doing was working a deal with them where we could just go over twice a year and just load up our van with any and everything we wanted. And, we would get toilet paper for the office and plastic cups and, paper plates and, just whatever we thought we needed, coffee and different things. And then we would take a cart and we would load a cart up full of liquor. And they started getting a little weird about that. They started telling us that we couldn't do that. But it's like, wait a minute, you owe us this money. What does it matter what we get?
Who cares what it is? Yeah.
But the first couple of rounds, we loaded up all kinds of liquor. I bought Cabo Wabo. I bought, just every kind of whiskey. I got some, different tequilas and things. So we have a really nice bar at the paper. I just don't have any of it at home because I ended up drinking it. Yeah. So why tempt myself? I just don't keep it here. So
yeah. At the risk of Christian wanting to come and punch a hole in my man card as well, if I'm gonna drink something, I tend to like something a little bit more. Oh, Jeff just lost his ash.
The wind caught it.
A little more sippable. Not so much. I don't sip whiskey or just straight liquors. I'm more of a slightly a little bit more of a liqueur kind of thing.
And I'm not going to lie. I'm with Nick on this. I'm not I've never understood. I can't even talk today. I've never understood people going in and just getting shots and just pounding back shots in a bar. I don't understand.
Shots aren't the same as when you've got a glass of whiskey and you're sitting and sipping.
Yeah, I want to sip. I don't want to do a shot of Fireball or whatever it might be.
Fireball's just nasty shit just in general.
Yeah.
And the only people that drink Fireball are freaking morons and college kids.
You've just offended many people on our podcast, I'm sure.
I hate Fireball.
Why do you have such a hatred of Fireball?
I hate.
Well, you don't like fake cinnamon.
I hate
that's
fake
right.
cinnamon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's disgusting. But no, like for me, well, like I told you, I bought that bottle of the Godiva chocolate liqueur, and I mixed that with the Di Serono, and it makes this like really nice kind of like chocolate covered cherry, kind of thing.
I actually like Di Serono.
I mean, it's a dessert. Look, I'm not looking to drink to get drunk, and I'm not looking. I'm looking for something that tastes good.
Yeah.
I'm a fatty. I tend to like the dessert. So, of course, if I'm going to be sipping something that what I consider tastes good, I'm going to be going something for a little bit more on the sweet side.
And
so,
at the risk of saying that we ripped off the Cigar Authority, I think next week we should do a car bomb.
Now, in all fairness, you and I did a car bomb last year.
We did. That's
so
true.
we can make the argument that Cigar Authority regurgitated our bit from last year.
I don't think we want to.
No, I don't want to make that claim, but no, I'm fine with doing a car bomb next week because I'm not gonna lie, the car bomb we had last year
was good.
It was really good. Kind of tasted all chocolate milky and everything. Yeah. It was tasty. So no, I'm fine with that.
Now last year we did it with the Philly Hooligan. We'll have to come up with
we'll have to figure out another like St. Patrick's Day-ish kind of Candela cigar.
I'm sure there's some
week,
choices out there. So
I'm sure there are. Yep. We'll swing by Riverman and see what Dan's got.
There you go.
So.
Okay, so...
Well, no. We got to close it out. So
close it out.
So anyway, guys, that was Ask the Boys this week. Christian, thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it.
Seriously, dude, thank you.
And,
even though you were picking on me.
Well, it's just something that we can talk to him about when eventually Christian comes on for, Listener Interaction Tuesday.
Darn right. Well, hey, we'll have whiskey then.
There you go.
We'll drink with you, Christian.
We'll coordinate.
Yes.
So, anyway, guys, get your questions into us. Call the Ask the Boys hotline at area code 863-874-0000 and let us know what you want us to, what you want us to talk about. I mean, it doesn't have to be about cigars. It can be about really anything. So, whatever. This is really kind of the letters to the editor segment in a roundabout way. Is. If you want to look at it that way, you can talk about anything. So, give us a call. All right, Jeff. So, what are you getting on the cigar? Like I said, I took the band off. I will admit, kind of shanked the wrapper in the process of doing so.
I took mine off, and I did lose one little piece. It was the way it was glued on.
Yeah, the way it was glued on was it kind of.
But again, it's a test wrapper. So.
I get it. Look, I'm being picky because I care, but at the same time, I am kind of taking that into account as I'm writing up my eventual
Not
review.
to mention you dropped your cigar on the driveway and drove over it.
I did not. I dropped it on your deck, you jackass. It wasn't on the
Backed over the cigar and then complained.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so I've got another note.
Okay.
I think it's going from the pepper, like the peppercorn steak flavor.
Yeah.
Into more of a leather now.
You're gonna have to give me a little time on that. I haven't quite picked up leather, but
I think the cigar is getting a leathery flavor.
There. I will say I just did a slight retro. The pepper, I feel like it's just ever so slightly tapered down as I'm kind of nearing the end of the second half.
It has.
I think near the end of the second third, that pepper kind of is tapering down slightly.
It's tapered down, but it's sticking with me like in the sinuses.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just that little flavor just lingering on the retrohale.
Yeah, it's there slightly. It hangs out, but it's not in your face like it was. So
you're more
earlier.
Of a medium to like bold smoker.
Yes.
Where would you put this?
Medium plus.
Medium plus, yeah.
I'd probably put this medium plus, and I'll say this. Sorry, I'm writing my note down.
Okay. I'm curious to see if you get the leather.
I'll say this. If I could get this in a round, all day.
But like we learned when we did our test cigars with Martinez.
It might change it. Yes,
it will.
It might change it.
Because we did a round flat iron, and it did completely change the aspect.
But I will say, if I could get this in a round, I would have no problem smoking this on the regular. I mean, and here's the thing. I've smoked a lot of Blackbird cigars. I smoke a lot of the Crow, the what's the other one? The Unkind. I think that's the purple band.
Yeah, you like that one.
You know, those are two really good cigars. I'm going to hold off on the... You know what? I'm going to hold off on the statement that I'm about to make. I'm going to hold off until
do we need to put a pin in that?
We're going to put a pin in that and circle back. Remind me to circle back to that, though. Because I want to finish this cigar before I make the statement that is on my mind.
Okay.
Oh.
So, just to throw this out there and mention it, coming up on Friday, we're going to be doing another selection from My Monthly Cigars.
We are indeed.
And it would be a good time to mention what that company is.
So, My Monthly Cigars is a premium cigar subscription service where you can get a box of cigars sent to your door every month. They come in a variety of sizes. We get the Robusto box, which is 4 cigars for $30. They also come in the El Presidente, which is 8 cigars for $50. That's 2 of everything in the Robusto box. And both of those are covered by an MSRP guarantee, which states that the value of the cigars in the box is going to meet or exceed the price of the box. I can't remember the MSRP.
I hate to say it, I don't remember
March.
either.
You know what? We did it last week.
But it's guaranteed.
And I can't remember if we even did the math and figured that up, but I'm sure.
No, I don't think we did.
It's been averaging about $40 to $42 in terms of cigars versus like a $30 price. So I'm sure it's probably in that like area. I don't.
So it's saving you $10 to $12 on the Robusto and on the El Presidente.
About $30.
$30.
Yeah, upwards of 30. So, and then if you use offer code Pulpit,
PULPIT.
Get you free shipping on the first box, as well as 20% off any of the items in Nick's online store over there, because he's got an online store with cigars and accessories and all kinds of other fun stuff over there at mymonthlycigars.com.
mymonthlycigars.com.
Yep. So, Jeff, why don't we also, as we're continuing to smoke this, why don't we give away some cigars?
I'm all in.
So, it's time for the weekly giveaway, and guys, you can get in on the list of potential winners by going to cigarpulpit.com and signing up for our email newsletter that, you know, at some point may happen. I don't know. I had thoughts about it, but life has happened, so, you know, will it happen? We'll see. But for right now, it's a good way for you to win some cigars. So all you have to do, listen for your name here, and if you hear your name, email me at nick@cigarpulpit.com. Shoot me your mailing address, and we will get those cigars taken care of for you. I have been told that all the winners should have their cigars in the mail. You know, the prior winners that we were kind of banked up on. You know, by the time this episode comes out, I would say, you know, if you haven't gotten those cigars yet, maybe just shoot me an email and tell me, and, you know, I'll rattle cages and all that. But I would hope that everybody should. I mean, I don't know. The postal system is somewhat still moving slow, so, you know, we have to take that into account. But
I've got one for you.
The one thing I will say is just let me know if you haven't received it.
So I'll throw this out while you're doing this. So I had a check that I was waiting for my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I've talked about it on the show. My dad, you know, is dealing with vascular dementia and is in the nursing home. And I was waiting on a check from his insurance company. And they insisted they were all paid up. Everything was done. And I'm like, no, you still owe, you know, blah, blah, blah. And sure enough, I got a check that was cut December 30th.
Yeah.
For a payment from June from the insurance company. And it came in the mail a week ago.
Wow.
They cut that check on December 30th, and I got it the last week of February.
It's our postal system.
It is messed up. So, you know, I just want to throw that out there. I know Nick's had experiences with them that are less than stellar.
Uh-huh.
They sent one of your packages to Coulterville instead, or a little bitty town in southern Illinois instead of O'Fallon, Illinois.
Yeah.
Sent an entire bag of mail to the wrong postal office.
I had ordered something, and it. I was looking at the tracking, and it left St. Louis, and it should have. The next step should have been that it would have been taken to my town's post office and then to my house.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, it's showing up in a post office that's like an hour and a half southeast of my town. And so I'm like, well, what's it doing down there? So I called the postmaster down there, and he's like, yeah, they misdelivered an entire bag of mail. So it had to go from Coulterville back to St. Louis, and then from St. Louis to my town.
Yeah.
So
and probably got lost in St. Louis again. St. Louis is a black hole.
It tacked on about 2 days.
Yeah.
When if they just would have delivered it to the right post office, I would have had it like the next day.
Exactly. So anyway, the Postal Service has its set of issues.
Yeah. So anyway, this week's winner, like I said, all you got to do is just shoot me that email at nick@cigarpulpit.com. Give me your address by Monday of next week, and we will get you some cigars. So this week's winner is...
I like the Tiffany drum.
Bryson Hart.
Bryson
Hart.
Winner, chicken dinner.
I like DJ Airhorn. DJ Airhorn is pretty cool.
You're so proud of your soundboard.
I like it, you know. It's fun. It's fun. I took a lot of the clips of you saying things out of context out.
Good.
You know.
Good.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm still looking for good ones when I edit, but
yeah, when they I mean, you know, I give you some gold.
Yeah, you know, when they come along, I do it, but for right now, I just, you know.
Now, speaking of the air horn.
Okay.
And I was
anyway, congratulations, Bryson.
Yay, Bryson.
And let me know that you're the winner.
You're going to love these cigars from Martinez. They are really, really good sticks,
really good
dude.
cigars.
Yeah, you're going to love them. So speaking of the air horn, that was one of the things I was accusing Nick of ripping off from another podcast, but I think like every podcast out there uses the damn air horn.
DJ or air horn has been around and used in quite a number of different places.
Yeah.
So,
but
no one person, well, except the person who made it, can make a claim to it. So, yeah.
It's like, let's get ready to, oh wait, I can't say that.
Yeah, you can't say that.
Yeah, because that's copyrighted. So it's like, but it's like that. Somebody originated it, then everyone else stole it.
Exactly.
So, the cold open that we had today, I referenced a show called The Greatest Generation that I've started listening to. And Nick turned me onto it. It's all about Star Trek.
Wind shifted, blew all that smoke
right back at you.
Right in my face.
Yeah. And it's a neat little podcast. It's two guys. And
your band just went flying. It's underneath your chair.
That's yours. I've still got mine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nope.
Mine's right there.
Well, mine's dead to me because I'm not bending over to get that.
It's dead to you now. So...
it's right under your ass, so that's all the more reason for me not to even remotely.
I've been listening to it, and again, the reason that I thought I'd have a little fun with it at the beginning of the show is because I just binged watched Picard.
Oh,
yeah, the new Star Trek.
I gave you my login code for CBS so that you could do that.
And so I binged watched.
I had to make
Picard,
Jeff pay the $7.99.
You know
for
the
this
jacked up part of that. let me say this: the jacked up part of that, is you gave me that code and I watched it.
Yeah,
and now it's on Pluto on Paramount Plus. They did the whole Picard last night. I was watching it again.
Did they really?
Yes. So I could have watched it for free if I just waited. So, but luckily you hooked me up.
Who knew?
So, okay. First of all, it was really, really well done. Any of the Star Trek nerds out there, if you haven't watched Picard, I don't think there's
quite as many Star Trek nerds listening to this show as you think.
Well, but for the
are you trying to force them to become more Star Trek? Okay, that's what this is.
Trying to force my love of Star Trek on you. So, and which is funny about the Greatest Generation is it's pretty much just them making fun of every episode.
Yeah,
at least up to now. They're in. I'm up to lovingly. Yes. I'm up to season 3 listening. You know, I went back to the very start and, went forward.
Well, you are marathoning.
Yes. So I've listened. I'm up to season 3. And now they're starting to get into episodes that they actually take a little more serious. They put a little more time into that first season of Star Trek. How did that ever stay on the air?
Yeah, I would argue the first 2 seasons of Next Generation are pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
But it kind of found itself there in season 3.
Yes.
So
especially the end.
But back to Picard. So I'm watching Picard, and it's really well done. It's shot cinematically, and Nick even agreed with that.
Yeah, it's a higher quality.
It's not
production.
like the old the old, Star Trek episodes. But I found a few things that I wanted to pick on in the show.
This is where Jeff goes super, super nerdy.
I do.
Because we've already had this discussion off air, so I know where he's going to go.
Yeah.
Guys, I warn you now. This is Jeff, just completely going full
I'm going to tell you right
nerd.
now. If you're a Star Trek fan and you haven't watched Picard,
full nerd,
you're going to want to skip through this a little bit to get ahead of this. You don't want me to. I'm going to give away spoilers. So I'm warning you right now.
Full nerd.
Spoilers. But,
by the way, before we go too far, because I'm probably about done with this cigar.
Yeah, you're so much further ahead than I am.
I am.
That never happens.
This, I'm down to maybe the last inch and a half.
Yeah.
Or so. Right at the end of this thing, dude, that pepper ramps.
Is it coming back?
So hard.
I haven't got there yet.
My mouth.
Did you ever catch the leather I was talking about?
Never did.
And I never got the spice you got on the initial retro hail.
But
either.
I'm telling you right now, the last bit of this thing, it gets peppery AF, dude. It's my mouth is tingling from it.
Really?
At this point. Yeah.
I got that to look forward to.
Yeah. It's prevalent. Burn line, little uneven. I'm blaming that on the fact that I had the crack in the wrapper from both the test band and probably also from dropping it. So I'm not going to hold that this part of the burn line against this cigar. I will probably give my burn. I'm probably going to have to give my burn about a 3 because it was not. It had moments of evenness, but it had plenty of moments of unevenness.
I had one spot that I had to go ahead and correct, so it'd catch back up. But other than that, mine's been pretty good. It's not been impeccable, but it's been good.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to give the burn a 3. All right, so to your nerd, complaints.
There are some. Again, spoilers. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Okay, now it's on you if you're still listening. So they did a lot of really neat callbacks to the original show. They bring in 7 of 9.
Yeah.
And I was really happy about that because I love Jerry Ryan. I think she's so pretty. But she came on and she's a badass in this. And then you also have a callback to the Borg with Hugh, which I thought was a great, drawback to the original show. And then you also ended up having Riker. You had Will Riker and Deanna Troi. They were, a piece of the show. So there were some really neat callbacks. One of the things that I picked on is there's a scene where there is this Romulan, and he's chasing the ship that Picard's on. And he's in a Cylon ship from Battlestar Galactica, the original show. And I'm like, why'd they make this? I mean, it looks just like a Cylon. Am I wrong?
I'm staying out of this.
Okay.
I'm writing my notes. This is all you.
That was one where it was a little distracting.
Look, I'm a nerd. I'm pretty open about that, but you're going into areas that I'm embarrassed by. So I'm just going to go ahead and let you do this.
And then
we'll go back
this
to
epic battle that isn't
something cooler.
That they bring in a gazillion Romulan ships, and then a gazillion Federation ships show up and, they stand them down kind of thing. How did they muster all these ships? And especially given the state that the Federation's in during the Picard episodes, how did they muster all these ships and have enough crew to even, field those ships? I don't understand. And Nick says that I'm being too much of a nerd there because just enjoy the fact that they had this epic scene. But I'm thinking of the logistics of it and how did they pull this all together? And there's no way that could actually happen. And yeah, I'm a big nerd.
Are you done? Anything else?
Not completely, but
feel free.
They had some really good callbacks.
At this point, you've in for a penny, in for a pound.
Okay, and they had some really good callbacks to Data, who is dead. Anybody that watched Nemesis, I think that was the movie that he passed away in. If I'm correct? And they had some really good callbacks to that, but not in the way that I thought they were going to do it. Actually, you could make the argument the entire Picard first season is all based around data.
Yes.
Yes. And you know what? There's one other spoiler I want to give away, but I'm not going to do it. I can't bring myself to tell people because if they haven't seen it, I don't want to ruin it for them. Okay. So I'm just going to leave the last part about Picard and how the show ends, or sets up for a second season. I'm just going to let that go.
Okay.
And you know what I'm talking about, and I think that one's too much to tell. But if you haven't watched it, guys, you need to.
Okay.
So are you doing your notes here, or are you just texting people randomly during the show?
I am writing out my notes, actually.
Okay, good.
So I have all my notes here for the Blackbird smoking panel. So I'm prepared to post my photos and
pepper. Yep, you're right on the retro hill.
Yeah, the pepper ramps up significantly in the final third.
Mm-hmm.
I got it on the retro, and like I said, tasting wise, just the smoking experience, the pepper ramps up significantly in the final third as well.
Now I'm to the final third, and I'm still getting. Nick smoked his a lot faster than me, which is really out of the norm. I'm usually further ahead than you.
Mine might have been burning a little quicker too due to the cracking.
Maybe.
You know.
But yeah, I'm still getting that leather taste.
See, I didn't get a leather taste.
And now salt.
I didn't get any salt.
Yeah, I'm getting leather and salt.
You got salt on the... When did you get salt? Didn't you get salt on the cold draw?
On this one, no.
No, you got straight coffee.
Yeah, I got straight coffee, and then on the cold retro, I was actually distilled it down more to a French roast. Like a darker roast coffee.
I could have swore you got salt on something. Oh, it was yesterday. That's what it was. Yesterday, when you and I were hanging out, and you
That's on a different cigar,
on a different cigar. You got salt really bad on that cigar. Well, not really bad, but
you got it.
But you got, not harshly. I'm picking all the wrong words, but you got it prevalently.
You just crystallized my thoughts eloquently. I like that. So I'm getting salt and leather still, and on the retro hail, I'm picking up the pepper.
Very cool. Well, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
What else do we have to do? We have to do socials. You should have keyed me up for the socials.
I can do that.
You're really bad at the cues.
I'm horrible.
Really bad at the cues.
Horrible at that.
You have like one job. So we're on Instagram at the Cigar Pulpit, as well as at Naked Gator, NEKKID Gator.
That's my page.
We're also on Facebook, where we have the Cigar Pulpit Parishioners group. Guys,
which is exploding.
Get in on that. It's a lot of fun. People posting a lot of cool pictures of the cigars they're smoking, asking some questions, just having a good time. So, jump in on that and participate. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then we're also on Twitter. We're on YouTube. You can reach out to us through cigarpulpit.com. And then also make sure you call the Ask the Boys hotline, area code 863-874-0000, so you can get your questions in. And like I was saying earlier, we're doing Listener Interaction Tuesdays. We're the last Tuesday of the month. The listener is going to be invited to come onto the show and hang out with us. And, the way you kind of get in on that action is by being an active participant in Ask the Boys.
Okay, so speaking of the socials, I do want to give a shout out to somebody.
Okay.
The Stogie Life.
Yes.
On Instagram did such a wonderful job of reviewing Martinez as a whole, but really especially the Bishop and Gator in the Cigar Pulpit series.
They did.
And if you get a chance, go over and like their page there and take a look at it. But they did some really good flavor notes on our cigars and put up some really cool pictures of the sticks.
They did.
I shared a bunch of them to my Instagram story, but man, they did a nice job with those.
Yep.
So
cool.
got to give a shout out to them. And again, thank you for giving us some good press there. Those guys have a ton of followers.
They do.
Like 21,000. So
hopefully they all saw that and decided that they wanted to try the Bishop and the Gator.
Now, I think we should go over our list of stores that either have them or will be getting them this week.
So, the Bishop and the Gator, they should be in stores. If they're not in stores right this instant, it should be like any day now. And so, guys, you want to reach out to the following stores to see about procuring some Bishops and Gators. So, obviously, they are in Riverman Cigar Company of Crestwood, Missouri. They are also in Lit Cigars up in Chesterfield, Missouri.
Both in the St. Louis area.
Both in the St. Louis area. They are in the Smoke Pit in Greenwood, Indiana.
Just south of Indianapolis.
Just a little south of Indianapolis. They're in Smoker's Alibi, which is down in Texas. They are in Man Cave Cigars, which is, I believe, kind of near Little Rock.
Oh, I thought it was in Memphis.
No.
It's in Little Rock?
It's in Little Rock.
Okay.
And then Max Smoke Shop in Palo Alto, California.
There you go. So, the reason we say this is, one, you can find the cigars at those shops. The other reason we say it is, if you have a local brick and mortar that you would like our cigars in, and trust me, you want our cigars in them because they're really good cigars. We put our stamp of approval on them.
And it's a super low commitment for these shops to bring us in.
Yeah, super low.
They don't have to do, I mean, honestly, all they have to do is just, if they want to, they can just get in some Bishops, they can get in some Gators, like one bundle of each, and give them a try.
And let's be honest.
And if they don't sell, hey, you know what? They don't sell, they don't have to reorder. And if they do sell, there you go.
There you go. Money made.
You got money made.
Money made. And here's the deal. They want to bring on the entire line of Martinez because they have great cigars. But if they just bring on the Bishop and Gator to start, so be it. Let them get their toe wet, Yeah, so let them test the waters, as it were. But if you have a local brick and mortar that you would like these cigars in, and it's your shop, tell the shop owner.
Exactly.
And or maybe both, reach out to us and let us know the shop owner's name and the shop where you are, what your home shop is. We'll be glad to reach out to them and, talk to them about bringing it in. Because our plan is to actually add to the Traveling Freak Show and Evangelical Cigar Revival.
Circle around and visit these shops.
And, yeah, we want to go to these shops and thank them for putting them in. So we'll come and hopefully, barring travel restrictions and whatnot in time. But our plan is to get to as many of these shops as we can in the coming year to thank them for putting the cigars in and do a little event and come out and see you.
Yeah, do a show, highlight the shop, that kind of thing. It'll be fun. So
good time had by all.
Exactly.
So, yeah, let us know what shops you'd like them in. And, again, tell your home shop, hey, you know what? We'd really like to try these cigars. Can you bring them in? And we can get that arranged with Martinez.
Yep. Well, very cool. Well, Jeff, final thoughts on the Blackbird Cigars. What was the you have your band sitting over there anywhere?
It's right here.
Okay. So
this is Test Blend 8041. 8041.
All right.
So let me look here. The burn, I'm gonna give a 4 to the burn because I did have to correct a couple of spots. The taste, I'm gonna give the taste a 5 because it was very complex.
Yeah, I gave the taste a 5 as well. It really hit a lot of notes on my palate that I like, in a cigar. And so no, I all in all, I didn't really have any real issues or complaints. Like I said, just a little bit of issues with my burn line, and not to keep harping on it, but it's just a personal preference of mine is the box press over the round.
You got to get over that anyway.
Do I?
I think you do.
I don't think so.
So the appearance, I'm giving it a 5. I really liked the wrapper on the cigar. I thought it was a very neat looking tobacco that they used to wrap it with. The draw I gave a 5 to. It had a really good draw on it. The burn line, I probably could have gone a little lower on the burn line because there were 2 times I had to correct, but I'm going to give that a 4. And taste obviously was a 5 because this has had a lot going on. And I'm going to go through my notes here real quick if you don't mind.
No, feel free.
So off the start, I got floral on the cold draw, and I distilled it down a little more to what I thought was more of the smell of honeysuckle, with the cold retrohale. First thoughts, I got coffee. On the initial draws on the cigar.
Definitely.
And when I did the retrohale, it actually left that flavor of like a French roast, like a dark roast coffee.
Didn't get that on the retrohale in the first third, but that's okay.
Now, yeah, so the first third, coffee. The second third, the pepper started up, and the retrohale, the pepper really picked up on the second third retrohale. At the midway point, I started getting leather, and that final third, I got leather and salt were what I was picking up as flavors on that. I'm down to the nub here. Let me do that final retrohale.
Okay. Yeah, I had the coffee in the first third. Second third, I'm giving it kind of a meaty peppercorn kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, and I didn't even write that down on 82.
Yeah.
But I had that like peppercorn steak flavor.
And that final third, like I said, I think that pepper ramped up really hard in that final third.
On the retro I just did, I got just pepper and it lingered in the sinuses.
Yep,
so that pepper built back up right at the
tingly
end.
in the mouth and everything, yeah.
Actually making my eyes water a little bit. It's definitely there. So I'm going to put the cigar at a really good medium plus.
See, I went medium plus, but I'll say this: I actually think the final third of that cigar ramped up to a full.
To a full, okay.
Yeah, I think it built to a full in the final third.
Good deal.
It's just my personal opinion. In terms of smoking experience, I didn't like the box press. Otherwise, it was very pleasant. The cigar had great flavor. Burn line only needed to be touched up just a little bit. All in all, I thought it was a good smoking experience. And
have you ever had a bad cigar from Blackbird?
No. I mean, they have some cigars that are not necessarily my preference. Like, I think it's the Finch is their really light, really Connecticut, kind of really light
Which is
cigar.
More in my wheelhouse,
and that's
obviously.
the thing. That's just personal palate preference. But all in all, dude, it's a good cigar. And then the other question they asked about was the size. I'm good with the Robusto. I typically smoke Toros. So, would I like to see this in a Toro? Yeah, probably. But,
And you'd rather have a round 60 than a box press.
And I'd rather have a round cigar than a box press. But otherwise, I really think that Test Blend 8041 was a winner. I like it a lot.
So much complexity to it. Yeah.
So. Well, we really want to thank Jonas and all the fine folks over at Blackbird Cigars for including us in on this. I hope this was helpful. And, if you have more test blends you want us to give a shout to,
we're all in.
We're all in. So,
wait, you're right on that pepper at the end.
And I'll also say this. If other manufacturers want our opinions on these cigars, you can reach out to us through cigarpulpit.com, and we'll be glad to give our opinions.
Yes.
And see, we actually try when we're trying to be serious and give actual flavor notes, or like this. I mean, when you're actually at full on asking for our opinion,
yes, we'll give it.
We'll give it an honest effort.
Now I'll tell you,
we're not going to
last night
completely.
We were going to do this show last night, and we called it an audible, called off, and did it today. Did it this morning.
Yep.
Because we'd both eaten, we'd both had other cigars that day. And I didn't think it was fair to do this test blend after smoking other cigars. I wanted to go into it clean and just start with this cigar for the day. And I've been very, very impressed by it.
Yes, it's been a really good experience, and I'm glad we did that.
Yeah, I am too.
So,
well, there you go. It's been a show.
It has indeed been a show.
This has been a good show, actually.
I know. It actually hadn't been bad.
We actually did cigar stuff. It was cool.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Who knew?
We should do this more often.
On
a cigar podcast. Yeah.
Well, guys, coming to you from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios on the back of Jeff's ex-wife's house. This has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick.
I'm Gator.
Everybody stay safe and stay smoky.